fairies, it's Fairy Truths, and as promised, I'm making a question and answer video. I'm sorry about the lighting, it's pretty bad, but I'm not home right now, so I have to work with what I can. And you guys asked a whole lot of questions, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get through all of them, but I'm going to try my hardest to get through as much as I can, and I'll probably split this into 2 videos like I usually do so that it's not too long for you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. The question is, I do swim team. When I'm in the water, will that affect my wings? It could, especially because chlorine is like a very bad chemical for wings. So I would suggest waiting until swim season is over and then becoming a fairy so that it doesn't harm you. Are you planning on doing any other spells? If so, what are they? Thanks for reading. I love your videos so much. You are so inspiring, kind, and beautiful. Well, first of all, thank you. Second, I do plan on doing a few more spells. I'm working on a couple of them right now, but I'm not going to share it with you guys yet. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, I'm working on a few right now. When you whip your wings, is it possible for them to repair overnight? That has happened before for slight injuries, but it's most likely it'll take a few days to heal. Why does the dead flower petals add magic to the dust? I believe I explained this in my recent ingredients video, but basically, it's more of like a symbol, and it just kind of releases the color. It represents nature, it brings nature into it, but you're not killing a live plant in this way, so it's using a non-living plant rather than killing a live plant, because that's just kind of the opposite of what fairies are about. What happens if you put live petals in the potion? It simply just won't work. How can I find the fairy school? Are there any in Japan? There are actually several fairy schools in Japan, and there's many all over the world. It's very hard to find them because they're not considered fairy schools, and they're a lot of different things. Like, it's not just fairies, it's all kinds of different magic stuff there, so they're pretty hard to find, but if you do your research, you can find them. Depending on where you live, there might not be one where you live. You just never know. Can you make a video about cool stuff that you can only do as a fairy? You know, that would be a really good video idea, and I'm definitely going to take that into consideration, so thank you. Do you have to have a personality similar to the aura you choose? I think that sort of helps, but it's not like required, so you can really have any type of personality as long as you know you're willing to let those changes happen to your personality. Will constantly being on technology as a fairy hurt me, or does it just make me feel sick? It won't hurt you, it'll just affect being a fairy and make you sick. What do I do with the potion after I'm done with it? You can toss it or you can keep it. It doesn't really matter. I'm not sure if you can reuse the Roman spell potion again, but I know for a fact you can't reuse the Irish spell potion. What does the type of fairy dust you use in a spell affect if the spell works? It doesn't affect if the spell works, but it does affect your aura, meaning the powers that you have and the type of personality that you have. Is it tiring to fly like it is tiring to run? Yes, it can be tiring at first. It won't be, but once you've been doing it for a while, it does get tiring. Are there illnesses that only apply to fairies? Yes, there are, and if you guys are interested in seeing a video about this, I would be more than happy to make that, or I could just, type it to you guys if you guys are curious, but not a lot of you are. When you're transforming, do you just wake up one day with wings, or is it different? No, it happens over time. You start out with small bumps, and you also get side effects beforehand, letting you know that they're coming. So that would be my answer for that. Can you do another live hangout? I plan on doing another live hangout when I get a chance, and I'll probably be doing that with Confessions of a Fairy or Fairy for Real, so I'm not sure when I'm going to be doing that, but it will happen in the near future. Is the most common technology not to use during the spell? I would say most specifically computers and smartphones. Regular phones, not so much. iPods are fine. TV is on the border. Music is fine as long as it's on a radio and not coming from a laptop or a computer. You can listen to it on an MP3 player or an iPod, and that'd be fine. Have you ever met a fairy? Of course, I met many fairies. My friends and I all used to be fairies together, and I knew many older fairies that were more experienced, and I learned a lot from them. How do you make your own spell? I actually kind of want to start a video series on spell making. So I'm just gonna leave that at that. I think that'd be really cool. What do you guys think? How do you hide being a fairy? I've answered this a few times. You can just hide your wings, or you can do the invisible fairy spell and you'll have invisible wings. For the first potion, did you take the personal item out after the spell? Yes, make sure you get your item. You don't want to be throwing that away because it obviously means something to you, so yes, you're going to take it out. What if you have seasonal allergies and want the green aura? Would it affect yourself? I'm not sure. I have seasonal allergies and I did the green aura and I was fine, but I'm not sure if it was the medication I was taking because I had been taking that before I did the spell, so I'm not sure. After doing the spell, why did I feel my back hurt slightly? Well, it could be the spell working, or it could be anything else that might be a coincidence, but it's probably a side effect from the spell. Whether it worked or not, you do still get side effects, which is kind of sucks because you never know if it's actually going to work, but it's probably from the spell. I've had a bit of back pain and tingling, and I got very sick, but I'm not sure if it's from the spell or from what I ate. But the weird thing is that I think about 98 of 112 of the kids at my school were sick too. So from the spell, my school, or just me. You see, that's the thing. It could be coincidence, or it could be from the spell, or it could be a mixture of both. So, I don't know. It could be anything, really. It's kind of just a general answer. I'm sorry. What color will your wings grow to be? Can you choose, or is it random? Your wings are generally the color of the aura that you choose, but if you draw your wings and color them, they'll be the color that you color them. Will you do another fairy spell video because you missed a step on the first one? I want to, but I just don't know how that's going to fit in with my timing and my scheduling, but I really would like to, but it probably won't happen for a long time. Could you explain different shapes of wings and how to ensure someone can attain their desired shape and size? I could make a video on that. I'm not sure if I will, but you can always personal message me and I can talk to you one-on-one, or at least try to. The best way to reach me is Twitter. I may not reply right away, but I do try my best to reply as quickly as I can. Can I fly inside places, for example, my home? Yes, you can. In Fairy for Real's video, she talked about auras, and when she was talking about the blue aura, she said one of the powers was you can be invisible. How can I be invisible using my power? Well, you would have to mix the Irish spell with blue fairy dust. It's kind of complicated, so yeah, I can maybe make a video explaining how to mix auras with the white fairy dust spell. So let me know if that's something you guys want to see as well. I know I'm just coming up with so many video ideas on this video. Can I buy my fairy dust off of Amazon, or would it be better to make my own? Because I really want the blue aura, and it has blue on the Amazon, and I don't have blue sparkles to make my own. I would recommend making your own because sparkles are really cheap, and fairy dust can be start at $2 and be more expensive than that. And you can get sparkles for a few cents anywhere you go, just little things of it. So I would recommend making it yourself, but it's completely up to you. My friend really wants to be a fairy, but she only wants to be a fairy to fly. Should I show my friend the spell? I wouldn't, just because that's kind of abusing the powers of being a fairy. It's a big privilege to be a fairy, and only doing it for flying is kind of defeating the purpose. Will animals be able to see my wings? They should be able to. When I'm a fairy, will I be able to see other people's wings if they did the Irish spell when their wings are invisible? No. They're going to be invisible to everybody, including themselves, so no one's going to be able to see them. Guys, this video is getting pretty long, so I'm going to go ahead and make part 2 now. So if you want to see the rest of this video and see if I answered your question, go ahead and watch part 2, which is the video right after this one. Thank you, guys.